Korg Minilogue XD has easily been my favorite sound design tool for the past couple of months. It's really beginner friendly, but it has a lot of cool, complex tone shaping options that are super fun to mess around with. And I'm going to show you a few of these tricks that I think are pretty next level and fun and experimental and kind of surprising on something at this price point. We're going to go over a few patches. Feel free to jump around using chapter markers below. The first thing I want to show you is a very interesting patch I developed last night. And we're on a new patch, so we just have this. And what I'm going to do is give ourselves a square wave. And we're going to adjust the shape so our pulse width is super, super narrow. Like almost inaudibly narrow. And then we're going to give ourselves another square wave on VCO2 and do the same thing. This is going to turn into a really experimental patch, and it's super fun with a really simple workflow. So the key to this is the cross mod depth. And you'll hear some beating when I play this C, but when I play the C the octave above, you'll see that the beating occurs at twice the rate. And we get these cool interwoven rhythmic beating patterns when we play different intervals. So I want to bring us an octave down. And what I want to do is turn on the ring mod. That's going to make it a lot more obvious. So next, I'm actually going to just latch an arpeggio. Turn up the release. And we can play around with the way that this all interacts by adjusting the shape knob. I love using the ensemble with this. And a big reverb. Adjusting the envelope. The sync isn't on, the switch was just up from a prior patch, but it's defaulted to off, so. You get this really interesting glitch kind of thing happening when you play it at lower tempos. Sounds really cool with the flanger too. You can filter some stuff, tune the resonance, turn on that filter drive. And like, this sounds really cool. Throw some delay on there. And I think that's a pretty cool patch. It's rhythmic, but you can smear it into a pad. It's really flexible and versatile. Gross territory very quickly. The next thing I want to show you are some of the user oscillators. And this is exclusive to the Minilogue XD. You can't do this with the standard Minilogue. But basically, you can program oscillators. And I'm not really familiar with how to do this, but there are a lot of cool resources online with free or very inexpensive user oscillators that you can download and use for your own Minilogue. So I've downloaded a couple here, and one that I want to highlight is Warped by the user Ghost Time. And I will link to Ghost Time's patches and effects in the description of this video. There are a lot of cool options that they have on offering. So we have an init patch. We're going to turn down VCO1 and turn up the multi all the way. This is very mellow. And you can bring in additional harmonics with the shape knob. This does get kind of loud. And most of the settings are actually located in the Minilogue's menu. So if you click edit mode, the default is going to be program edit. And this is the key. It's right under wave where the multi-engine effects parameters are located. So there are a bunch of different parameters here. I'm just going to play through them. And I'm not going to talk because I need to be able to use both hands, and my camera is set up in a wonky way. You just click that parameter button to go to the next page. Let's latch an arpeggio to make this a bit easier. This is a great sound in my opinion. Let's mix in a triangle wave. Get some modulation going to the filter. So yeah, user oscillators are super fun. They can be really flexible. There are a couple of others from Ghost Time that I've downloaded. And this is the sneak. I don't know if it's like sequence, like a sneaky sequence. But I've kind of set up this patch, again, latching an ARP so my arms can reach around the camera. But I set this patch up to have the main performance parameters be the cutoff resonance and the rate of the LFO. It's cool to set up patches to give yourself a few knobs to mess around with as like your primary shapeshifters for sound design. But the overall integrity of the patch remains the same. So we're not doing something crazy like playing with a bunch of knobs over here. Although those can be cool for some patches. And honestly, this is cool in its own merits. One of my favorite patches I've recently made is this kind of harmonium-like pad, and it's really nice for jazzy chords. Oh wait, this is actually a sick preset where the voice stealing with the limited 4 voices on the synth actually comes into play because it gives you this cool vacuum-packed silence when you change chords in certain patches. Let me show you. So that's super fun. You can see that I missed one of the notes, so I'm playing 3 notes here. And then if I play another one, it'll still ring out. So you need to be basically playing any 4, at least 4 new notes to cut off the tails of the previous notes. If I just do 3, 1 will ring out. So it's interesting how it's like, it's not a feature, it's a bug. It's not a bug, it's just the nature of voice stealing when you only have 4 voices on an analog polysynth. Yeah, those are just a couple of quick tricks that I've been playing around with on the Minilogue. It's really fun to just kind of sit and do some patch exploration. I urge you to experiment and play around with these settings if you have other similar synths. I'm sure you can get really similar or perhaps wildly different results just from playing around. If you enjoyed this and you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. Also, feel free to check out my Patreon for some different cool perks and tiers if you want to support the channel. And as always, feel free to drop by my Instagram and say hello @slowhaste. Hope you all have a happy holiday season, and thanks for stopping by. Peace.